So, hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys missed us because we missed one episode last week. Mr. Jordan was out celebrating Sweetest Day, so he couldn't do a podcast with us.
That's not true. I was just vacationing, man.
Where'd you go?
I went to Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas, where it rains.
It did not rain. It was actually very hot and sunny.
You and your sweetie?
No, I didn't go with my sweetie. It was one of my boys' birthday. We went out there and kicked it.
Yeah, I kept doing that. And Mr. Williams, Jaquez Williams wasn't around either.
No.
No.
So we both took vacations.
Last Friday?
Last Friday.
It was so long ago. You made us not do the podcast. And all the people that listen are probably wondering, like, what happened? Did they not read the chapters? Only person I know that was here was Ryan Turner.
I read the chapters. I can't recall. I thought last Friday we was in Embark, no?
No, that was 2 Fridays
That was 2 Fridays ago.
But I did compliment somebody in the airport.
Okay. Oh, okay. Tell us about that.
A man, he had on it was like this one-piece suit. It was pretty nice, and I told him I liked it. I liked his outfit.
And he said?
He said I appreciate it. But
so go ahead.
I'm starting to realize that, like, as I give these compliments, like, it's not really too much that go after that. It's like, yeah, I appreciate it, and then that be that.
What should go after it, though?
No, I don't know what should go after it. I'm just making the observation of, like, the interaction.
But does it become, like, an awkward moment after you say it? Like, okay, thanks, man.
No, not necessarily. But I'm just comparing it to, like, if I gave a woman a compliment, I'll probably...
Stop following her and buying her dinner?
No. I'll probably be able to engage in just a little bit more conversation.
But even like the other day, I be trying stuff like I be doing like social experiments with myself. So like,
you're like a lab rat, but go on.
So like, I just randomly asked this. I'm walking, and I randomly asked. I'm like, dang, it's getting cold already. Like I never like would just say something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like. Rather than me saying like, "Hey, your outfit is nice," and that's it, like me saying it's cold outside, that created a whole conversation because we started talking about Chicago and then started talking about where he from because he was kind of older and stuff like that.
Okay.
But like, why I was trying to figure out why did that create like a more detailed dialogue than like
a compliment?
Yeah. Because when you give somebody, let's face it, do we really know how to take compliments when somebody's like, I really like that fit, or we're like, okay. I mean, we don't know how to take a compliment because sometimes we're so hard on ourselves.
Yeah. We're just not used to getting
Hey, we didn't introduce you yet.
I just wanted to say something. I thought that was
I don't even know who this guy is.
Right. He snuck in. Does he even have a ticket? Is he even called to be anything? All right, so anyway, our special guest today is Mr. St. Clair Morris. Mr. Morris, what do you do here? Just tell us all of that.
I'm big dog around here, so you know you got little dogs like these guys. I'm the freshman counsel. Also, I am the admin coordinator, not admin coordinator, but admissions director. You know, getting our great scholars in to Michelle Clark.
So we invited him because what now? You said because he had a good head on his shoulder. So each week we really are trying to bring like somebody in. So if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, I want to be a part, you know, drop us a line or email because we really do want to get just others involved in this stories of what we're kind of talking about as it relates to being the man you're called to be. So you know, one of the things that you kind of bring up, and it was one of the chapters that we did kind of go over, which was chapter 31, I would say. You belong, walk in it. And what was interesting about that to me is that a lot of times we don't realize that we belong somewhere or that we're powerful to be there because so many times we either have been put down or we have not been brought up. And when I say brought up, like we haven't been invested in, that sometimes we feel like, oh, they're better than us. Oh, I shouldn't do it. And so what happened is we hide our light. And not necessarily jump in front because we don't feel like we really called to be there, or we should. That's them. I'm not really a part of that.
Can I be completely honest?
Please.
So
wait. Why would you not be honest on this?
No, I'm about to be completely vulnerable
be completely
here. Honest. So when I first started working here, right, I walked in. I knew Dean was the only one that I really knew because he did a lot of Malcolm X stuff with me. And when I walked in here, I'm like, man. It feel like I'm walking into somebody's crib, but like a week went by, and then it was just like I just felt like I belonged. Everybody was cool. Everybody was open. I felt like I could really be myself. So yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of when I first started working here.
So what made you feel like you didn't belong though? Or was it more just things of you, or was it something that like?
No, I think it was totally me. I think I just came in and there was a lot of like black men like myself, and it just felt like, you know, it was unfamiliar territory to me. I was just so used to everything at Malcolm X. When I came over here, it was just like, man, this they land. Like they know these kids, they know how this school is ran. So I just didn't want to kind of like step on nobody's toes or nothing like that. So it was definitely me, but then it quickly changed.
I'm glad you had that experience. 'Cause
Yeah.
when I first started, everybody was like, no, they was mean.
Yeah.
They had no support. So I'm glad you had that
Pull
experience.
your head back so I can see what. You were like the baby of the bunch when you walked in. I was the one telling them not to baby you.
Nah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
a good community here.
Yeah.
I think it could be a.
I'm gonna help you with this.
I guess I think it could be like a. I don't know, for me, I know a lot of. I think that was a barrier for me. Even like not even just first starting here, but when I first started like different schools, different institutions. I think that me coming from where I come from, I always felt like, because I've never, my family like don't have like professionals in my family.
Same.
So it's not like a lot of doctors, teachers, lawyers. So if I so happen to walk in the room with these people, I don't feel uncomfortable, but it's like a barrier that I'm trying to, you know, go over to where I'm okay in this setting. Because I can see even when I first graduated going to a classroom or going to a meeting or a first PD, and got all these experienced teachers, they seasoned, they teaching for 10, 15 years, and then even to openly have a conversation, try to talk, sometimes I felt like, well, maybe you too young to even have a voice, or maybe you don't know enough, you're not as experienced to even talk or even be in this room.
Yeah.
But I think me getting over that barrier, just from looking at my past experience and trying to not really try to compare, but try to like go like, man, you've been through everything you've been through from the community you in. What make you think that you don't deserve to stand in that room?
Like you're here for a reason.
You know, and to me, I honestly think a lot of us come from the bottom of the bottom. It don't get no worse than this, but homelessness. When you come from poverty, when you come from some of these neighborhoods, the worst you can get from that is literally homelessness.
Yeah.
So for me to come from, or most of us to come from that playing field or from that survival mode, to walk into a room like that, I think us feeling comfortable and getting comfortable is like something that's necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Y'all can hear my phone going off?
Yeah, man. You supposed to been silenced that.
I was really trying to keep it down. But let me just do this real quick. So it's my sister. It's my sister calling me. I do have a sister. I'm not an only child. So let me throw in, because it's two chapters that kind of went together with that. So if you don't feel like you belong, you act differently, right? Or if you feel like there's a table there and there's people doing things, I can't get to that table to do any of those things. How do I? Because I'm never going to be at that table, right? But also, we sometimes don't see when the table is open or the door is open enough for us to get in it, to figure out like, this is the next piece to me getting to that. You know, we sometimes get stopped. Like, I think that there are areas where we get stopped along the way, and we get stopped because we don't feel like we belong there. That was one of the chapters. The other one that kind of goes right along with that was day 34, when your ego keeps you stuck. So we already don't feel like we belong there, but then our ego says, I ain't asking for help. My ego says, you know, I got this. I should. And in all actuality, we need help, but we shut down, or we don't communicate, or we move into our own world, or create this something that doesn't exist, just because our ego has gotten in the way, when it maybe started because we didn't feel like we belonged there or belong. And even in relationships, there are times that we've been with people that we're like, you know, that person's way, like, they upper class, they from the other side of the tracks. I don't really belong with them, but you know, and so we've sabotaged some of our own relationships with our ego and not feeling like we're a part of what's going on too.
I think in certain rooms that we kind of exactly what you said, like shrink ourselves to sometimes make other people feel comfortable, because we don't want to intimidate them, or we don't want to like make them feel like whether they're smaller or I don't know. Sometimes I think
Yeah,
that
I think that's the
strong
third
ego
reason.
reasons.
Do this have something to do with like insecurity?
Yep.
We just don't feel powerful in the streets that we're walking in, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And that start. Oh, can I say something now?
Absolutely.
I think that starts at a young age too, right? When you have people around you that, you know, that you didn't see go through certain stuff that didn't help you with your self-confidence, or, you know, it was an example before you, so that way you can go into these rooms feel like you're a part of something, or feel like you belong there. You know, as I remember when I first graduated out of undergrad, I wanted to go into law. Completed a lot of police applications, and I passed 3 of them. Right.
These guys all in our video.
No, you're not.
That guy with that green hat on.
No, he
I'm
good.
sorry. Go ahead.
And I passed the NIU DeKalb police test, and they called me to come out there, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm excited. And then when I actually got into the room, I'm seeing all these different white people, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't belong here. I know I'm not gonna do good, right? Make a long story short, I didn't have the confidence in interviewing with 6 people that was on the panel, from the fire chief to the police chief to the mayor, and I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting this. So I felt like I bombed it, right? End up getting called a month later saying, hey, we want to bring you on. I was like, you know what? I didn't even take it, right? And the reason why I didn't take it is because, you know, even though I did well, I didn't feel like I belonged at DeKalb County. And so moving forward, I did Chicago police, passed Chicago police, did Cook County Sheriff, and got called, and I was like, you know what? Too much police brutality. I don't belong there. That's me realizing as I got older, like, you know, it's bigger than me. Like, I don't want to go into an environment where it's gonna, you know, take too much out of me to bring about a change. And I'm like, okay, those individuals in the Cook County Sheriff Department, I'm like, you know, they done for. I can't go in there and try to help them. Oh, let's get back out.
They're gonna try to change you.
Exactly. So I'm like, you know, so, but I think the DeKalb moment made me feel like what we talking about right here, in terms of like, you know, where you belong, or did you not feel like you belong? And I think from that moment on, it helped me change like where I feel like I should be, which made me go back to school to get my master's in counseling, because I'm like, okay, this is where I belong. And I felt comfortable with everything that I was doing, from working with elderlies, middle-aged children. You know, now I'm working with police officers who need mental health. You know, and so like, this is where I belong. So when I recall, I should have done this from the get-go, but you know, you go through those journeys.
But everything happens for
That's
a reason.
for a reason.
Too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everything happens for a reason.
One thing, so my mom used to tell me, like, growing up, like, and I still kind of use this saying, like, when I'm going into new environments and stuff like that. And she used to tell me to just show them who you are. And, you know, that really, like, hit home in different situations, because it's easy to get uncomfortable, like, in new environments and stuff like that. And then, so, like we said, we dim our light, and that's not showing who we really are.
Facts.
And so I always try to think about that, you know.
And they say when you show who you are authentically, the right people gonna gravitate towards you, and everybody else who's not on your vibe and on your frequency just gonna repel off. Or you might even bump into them. But I think it's so crazy even hearing your story and hearing that, brother. It's like, I know so many of us who just feel like we not comfortable in any room, and to me that is mind-boggling. The fact that we don't think we can go and be police officers, or we feel uncomfortable in a conversation, or in a classroom, or in a room, because they don't look like us. But I think society has created that that box that they kind of put us in, and it's almost to the point where it's like it's a pre-check. It's like you know your place before I even got to put you in it, because society has created this for us. So even if you're in a room with us, you ain't gonna sit here because you know your place. You're not supposed to be here. So go.
And our ego is not gonna let us talk to it either. So our ego is gonna be like, nope, don't do it. Nope, you know what? Just go do this. Forget them. You don't need them. And then you know, and so our ego then messes us up, because then we're like, well, I ain't going. And then you're like, I can't go back because I said all these things.
Right, because I just spazzed on everybody.
Right, because I crashed out and stuff. And so I think that's yeah, I know about that.
He said, I know that word.
I've been hearing people
Stay
say
on
that.
TikTok, man.
But so I think that's really important. But it's also important to realize, how do we make sure that people that come in contact with us feel like they should be in that room? Because sometimes we can be intimidating ourselves, right? Black men could be like, you know, I don't know if I can be as cool as this brother, or this brother seemed like they got it all together because he got this or got that. When in actuality, there are people that we might intimidate without knowingly. So I think that also the part of those two chapters to me was, how do I make sure that I am a vessel that make people comfortable when in the room, so that they're comfortable enough to be themselves, and then I can help them be who they want to be, versus they come in trying to be somebody and then they fail at being an imposter.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, when I'm talking to the kids, because I'm like when we talking about this, I'm thinking like, how can we break the barrier earlier so that once they get to a certain point, that when they walk into these rooms, they good, right? For example, the students who graduated with their associate degree last year, they're gonna be so far ahead of the curve once they graduate with their bachelor's, that they're gonna be walking into rooms with people, like even now they're in classrooms with people who've been in school for 2 years already. I mean, they did college and high school, but it's their first time on a college campus. So that's why I always try to instill in them, like, you just as smart, you just as brave, like. And so it's like when I'm talking to the kids in the building, it's like, be comfortable with yourself, like, know who you is. Like, if we go, like we went on the Embark field trip to a consulting firm, and all these people went to like Penn State, Princeton, and I'm like, we here for a reason. Like, we in their space, so like, we just as smart as them. We could do just what they do.
We have just as many opportunities.
Absolutely. So I think it start like now, instilling that confidence in the kids, so that when they do get that opportunity to walk into their rooms, they just as bold and they confident.
Yeah, I think you see the difference even from just that, what they call it, preparation, getting kids ready. Even just a small difference from having a father figure or a strong figure who teaches you that confidence. Because you see a difference between, to me, a young man who has a father in his life versus a young man who doesn't have a father in his life. So where that confidence is a little bit different from a young man who has that father figure in his life, because it's like they implementing that, and they're strong. So you could just see it different in the room. That guy with the date is a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, because it's been instilled in him, versus a young man who hasn't. He's a little bit more timid because he don't know how far to go, or he don't know what's too aggressive, what's not aggressive enough, you know.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you said that too, because I think that's why it's also so important to have mentors in your life.
I was just about to say that, because growing up, like, me and my dad didn't have a really good relationship, and so I really leaned on the various men in my life, like the older men, as mentors, and I really needed them. Like, parent teacher conference, like, these guys came for me. You know, talk to if I got in any situation, they came, and so like just seeing that and listening to them, that really helped.
Yeah.
But did they know that they were doing that for you, or did you just know they were doing it for you? Like, did they know what they were empowering you with as being your mentor? You know, because sometimes we take people as our mentor and they really ain't our mentor. They just somebody we're like, I just like am enamored by this person because of how they carry.
I feel like one person really did, and he was my barber, and like he'll call me, check on me, you know, like, and he was the main person to come up to the school, you know, and talk to the principals and stuff like that, and like it really, you know, you really felt like he really checking on you, like he really. You know what I'm saying?
And the only reason why I ask that is because sometimes we have to also be cognizant that sometimes we're mentoring and doing things for people who are watching us that we may not ever have a conversation with. But as a male, we probably given some males that maybe don't have relationships with their dad, or dad has passed, you know, and now they're looking for somebody, and they may not ever come to you and say, Mr. Jordan, you know, you really are my mentor, you've really been my father figure. They may not ever say that to you. They'll just learn from watching you and kind of pick up some of those things, right?
Yeah, I've never said that to him.
And that's why I asked that question. So sometimes they'll never hear it, but they may be doing it because they're like, this is my calling, just to be me for people to see me or whatever. And then you happen to see them, right?
Yeah, I don't even think he had like children. Like, I don't think he had kids.
The fact that you never said that to him, but that's how you feel about him goes to, you know what I'm saying? Goes to show exactly, you know what I'm saying, what you were saying.
So would you ever say that to him now? Or is he still living?
Yeah, he's still living.
That was a bad question. I'm like, oh, is he gone to the Lord?
I probably should tell him. Last time I talked to him, his birthday was in August, so I talked to him in August. But I probably should tell him.
That'll make his day.
Well, especially if you're kids, like, man,
that'll make his day.
And sometimes you go forget how much you pour into somebody until you might bump into him. I mean, Mr. Williams, sometimes I bump to the gas station from working in the jail, and I've got to check myself, like, It's not ways, man. It's like, man, son, you really like something. You'll forget how much you didn't, because you done bumped into so many kids and then encountered so many people. You really forget until you be outside and then see somebody and they remind you, like, man, that really helped.
So I think I should give another homework assignment. I think we need to find at least 2 males that really were mentors to that we never told them that.
Moore's got to have 4 though.
Morris has that, but he won't be back. We ain't inviting him back.
Why y'all not inviting me back?
I don't even think the viewers are going to be like, oh, bring him
Hey,
back.
leave in the comments if y'all want Mr. Morris to come back. He need at least 10 votes.
I mean, but remember, he's taking Driscoll's spot right now, so he's the guest for Driscoll. So, you know.
How long Driscoll gonna be gone?
Hey. Don't get into Driscoll's business. That's not business.
So what's the homework?
So I think the homework is to find 2 people that
mentors.
have been a mentor or who have made a difference in your life, male mentor that have made a difference in your life. Maybe that you never said, this is my mentor, or said, but to be able to find those people and say, I want you to know you made a huge difference or a huge impact or a huge deposit in my life, and I just never told you that.
So I want to tell all of y'all now, and this ain't my homework assignment, because I'm gonna have my own too.
Okay.
But y'all all are seriously like, I look up to y'all, and y'all are my my people to come to for real. Cause I don't really got nobody out here in the city. It's just me and my older brother. Yeah. So when I come here, it's like a real community.
Yeah. And not even just seriously.
And I know that.
The first couple of people like that you encountered throughout your date, man, we here all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I said like that, this is the group that we encounter with, had conversations with, whether we talking about instruction stuff or just life stuff. So I can honestly say that as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, I really feel like y'all all pour into my life and been a part of my life. In these last couple of years, it's been tough. You all have been there. And mixed special.
I would say when I got the book, it was really just about like, how do let me get some fellas together and let's talk about it, right? And so hopefully we've been scratching some surfaces that have been some powerful areas for people, but that have been more powerful for us, because I think if it's power for us, then power reaches power, right? Yeah. So if we're not getting anything out of it, we can't expect somebody else to get some out of it. So I'm hoping that that's one of the things that people will see, that we're growing over that too. So I'll give us 2 homework assignments then, since now I'm feeling generous. I'm like the teacher. So I'll give you 2 assignments now because you guys are so good. I'll give you 2. So the first one really is to find at least 2 people that you never told, so they'll know. The second thing is to figure out like, what's one thing that so far, like we almost in like day 30 something, right? What's one thing that is still lingering with you that you're working on, that you're like, I'm gonna get better at this, get better at this. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I don't want it to be something that we read one week and then we didn't go back to and look. So like I'll be vulnerable and say mine is the ego piece, because I'm close to, like, I'm quick to shut down and just be like, I'm gonna say my piece, I'm done, blah blah blah, right? And so for me, I want to be able to keep not being afraid to be vulnerable, but also not be afraid to say what I think, say what I feel, and not say how I feel in a malicious way, so that I'm like nasty to you because but to be able to express like, this is how that made me feel. Whether it was intentional or not, the impact of it is this how it made me feel. Because I think, especially as men, we just don't talk enough about how something made us feel, because that feeling then has an impact on maybe how I respond to things or how I respond to the next person. And if I just continue to hold it in, it could be damaging to not only the life that I want to live, but it could be damaging to the lives that I can have opportunities to give. So next week, those could be 2 things that we kind of talk more about.
Will I be back?
Yeah, so you don't have to do the homework.
Cool.
You're exempt from the homework. We won't know.
What? Well, I wanna, since it's gonna be on YouTube, I wanna, and I hope this person view it, because I mean.
No, go find your person. Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
No, because they gonna watch it too. But I'm also gonna tell them. This person been knowing me, and I think I told most of y'all this too. This guy right here, Mr. Anderson. I hope you watch this YouTube channel or whatever. But Mr. Anderson been knowing me since 2007. And so I want to tell you today, if I haven't told you, but you seen it through my growth, that you have been a mentor in my life.
He's never told me that, y'all.
I never told him. But I'm telling you now, since we're on this topic and since you brought me into this, and you know, this is what we're talking about, right?
Okay. I didn't bring you in here though.
Well, he invited me.
No,
Me and Turner
invited,
and I seconded it. Yeah, I seconded it.
It's okay.
I was overruled.
I wanted you here.
I'm joking.
We wanted you here.
This
We
our
brought
dog.
you. Yeah.
This our dog.
Seriously, go ahead. Go finish talking.
This is our dog.
But no,
You belong here.
For sure.
And I wanna highlight that because I never told him throughout my 18 years. I'm 36, so that's half my life, right?
You told me how solid he didn't look.
And
at
I told
Facts.
you, and I never told you, but I want to tell you right now, since we're on this topic, I appreciate you because I wouldn't be here in this position. I wouldn't have went back to get my master's to be working in schools because I wanted to do law.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Mr. Anthony, he got me my first scholarship and my first acceptance letter to Lane College.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Lane College because I got into U of I, which was my dream college.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you this in 2025, and this started in 2007.
Yeah.
You
could have waited and just told me like in 2027, then you'd be like, I'm not 20 years.
Because tomorrow ain't promised to nobody, and I want this to be.
Yeah. No.
I want this to be on record.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
when I met Morris, I was his assistant principal at Manly, and I was there for a short period of time, and I was there from like July to January, July to January, so 6 months. And what struck me about this is that he can. I always forget to say we're in the school. But what struck me about it is that I was like, why is this young man still emailing me and talking to me? I'm not at that school anymore, and I've only known him for 6 months, stalker. But in that 6 months, I guess we had really done a lot and built the relationship that he then felt that and so before I knew it, I was like, where you at? What are you doing? Did you do this? Did you know? And I had already left and went somewhere else where I was an assistant principal. So he's one of the few that like kept up with me, but it's weird because he only knew me for 6 months. Yeah. Well, not even 6 months.
Yeah, it was probably like 4 because we had Thanksgiving break, Christmas break.
Yeah. And I never said anything. Like the next day they came to school and I was just gone.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's something you do.
They're like, what is this?
Once again, I'm working on that. That happened.
He's like, I'm out of here.
That happened at Violet. They was like, where did he go? And my stuff was, right, because you had Violet. All my stuff was still there. I just left. So, yeah, I just said that. I'm working on, that's my work on, right? That I want to be present at all times and all of that. So, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. So, you guys got your homework. We know what we got to do for next week. Yes, somebody's got to update Driscoll because he'll come here pretending like he didn't know.
We'll update him.
Yeah. And let's make this happen next week. So, on behalf of the crew here, which is Principal Anderson,
Mr. Jordan,
Mr. Williams,
Big Turner,
and special guest,
Mr. Morris, Big Dog.
You don't have to worry about it. You won't see him anymore.
The man you're card to beat. We out. Peace.
We out. Thank you.
Peace.